Good morning. Good morning, my dear friends. Today, topic of discussion will be bus admittance matrix. Okay, let us see in detail. I have already shared this PDF in the Google Classroom. I hope that you have studied and try to understand the things. If you are not able to understand the basic things, today I'm going to provide explanation for your help and support. Okay, let us see. Uh, this bus admittance matrix is the part of the load flow. Before going to how to develop the bus admittance matrix, let us understand what is the load flow and what is the different type of bus in the power system. Okay, now let's see what is the load flow. Load flow provides the nodal analysis. Nodal voltage and phase angles at the each section of the transmission line or bus. Okay. Nodal means at each bus, at each node of the bus, its load flow analysis or load flow provides the information or the calculation or the result regarding voltage and phase angle at the particular node, and hence the power injection. As you know, if we know the voltage and angle at any bus, then we can calculate the power flow through that bus by formula E equal to EV by X sin del, where E is the generating voltage, V is the dead end voltage, that bus voltage, and X is the reactance of that bus from generating end voltage to that bus, and sin delta, where delta is the load angle. Then if we calculate the value of voltage V and phase angle sin delta d delta, then we can simply calculate the power injection at that bus. Okay, is it clear? Okay, now second task is the power flow through the interconnecting power channel. If we able to connect the power injection at particular bus terminal, particular node, then we will also able to know what will be the power flow. Power flow means how much power, active power or reactive powers are flowing at particular node or through particular bus. Load flow solutions is essential for what? What is the purpose of load flow? You must remember, this is very important. Why a lot of question, many times question has been asked in the interview, why load flow analysis you are going to do? What is the main reason? Then you should know the reason for it. That is the load flow analysis is essential for designing a new power system. First aim or first task of the load flow. Second, planning extension of the existing one for the increased load demand. When suppose day by day load is increasing on the power system or the power plant, in terms of the industrial load or domestic load, and that increased load demand, there must be planning for the future of the existing power plant. This means if we are going to install today power plant, suppose Tanda was working currently, when it was installed initially, then some engineers or technician or expert have studied about load flow analysis, so that they estimated how much loads are currently existing and how much loads will be connected in future, in nearest future of next 10 years, next 15 years, next 20, next 30 years. Because a a power plant have a life cycle of at least 25 years. And in currently, suppose there is 400 megawatt is load is working at the or existing at the Tata thermal power plant of the NTPC. After 5 years, suppose it's increased by 50 megawatt, means it's become 450. Then how it will manage, how it will be increased, and what either there is need of any new thermal power plant, or it will be sufficient existing one by extending its power, developing power producing capability. ओके, इन अदर वर्ड्स, आपका एग्जिस्टिंग पावर प्लांट को जब हम लगाते हैं तो लोड फ्लो एनालिसिस का स्टडी करते हैं, जिससे हमें ये पता चलता है कि वर्तमान में लोड की रिक्वायरमेंट कितनी है और फिर आने वाले समय में, आने वाले भविष्य में लोड की इंक्रीमेंट कितना होगा, ताकि हम वर्तमान के पावर प्लांट से उसको हम ओवर करेंगे, उस रिक्वायरमेंट को सप्लाई करेंगे, फुलफिल करेंगे, या न्यू पावर प्लांट की रिक्वायरमेंट होगी। तो इन सब पर्पज को पूरा करने के लिए कौन से पर्पज, पहला न्यू पावर सिस्टम की डिजाइनिंग में काम आता है लोड फ्लो, दूसरा पर्पज है प्लानिंग एक्सटेंशन ऑफ द एग्जिस्टिंग वन। ओके, you have to remember it, these two. And third requirement of the load flow solution was that it will provide the initial condition of the power system for transient behavior of the system. What is the meaning of this? You have already studied the transient analysis of the system. What does it mean? ट्रांजिएंट एनालिसिस में आपने देखा होगा, कोई एलसी सर्किट होता है, लोड होता है, T इक्वल टू 0 पे ये स्विच जो है आपका ये स्विच जो है आपका कनेक्ट होगा। तो जो सडन आपका जो पावर करंट और वोल्टेज में जो चेंजेस होगा, उसके रिस्पांस को क्या बोलते हैं, ट्रांजिएंट एनालिसिस। ओके, या तो जो पावर सिस्टम क्या होता है आपका, जैसा कि आपको मालूम है, जो ट्रांसमिशन लाइन होता है, ये भी जो है एक इंडक्टेंस बाय इनहेरेंट कैरेक्टरिस्टिक, इट्स कंटेन द इंडक्टिव प्रॉपर्टी, ट्रांसमिशन लाइन कंटेन इंडक्टिव प्रॉपर्टी, एंड देयर इज सम कैपेसिटिव इफेक्ट from transmission line, in between the transmission line and the ground, and after that this voltage source is considered, you can consider it as a power source or the generator or the power plant. And to study, to get the response, exact solution of this circuit transient response, we must know, there must be provided about the initial condition, and that initial condition is obtained from the load flow analysis of the power system, which is the third requirement. Okay. Now, bus analysis. What is the bus analysis? Bus analysis means analysis of the bus in terms of the magnitude of the voltage VI. Through analysis of the bus, we obtain these four values. First one, magnitude of the voltage. Second one, phase angle of the voltage delta I. Third one, active power PI, and fourth one, reactive power QI. If we know all these four parameters of any bus, then we can express the complete information about any bus. Okay. So through bus analysis, we obtain these four parameters. magnitude of the voltage at that bus, phase angle of the voltage delta I at that I bus, and the active power Pi at particular that bus, reactive power Pi at that bus. Okay. Three types of buses or nodes are identified on the basis of the above four parameters information. We classified the bus three types. Okay, which they are? First one is load bus or PQ bus. You have to must remember. You must remember about the type of bus. First one is load bus. लोड बस को हम दूसरे शब्द में बोलते हैं पीक्यू बस, जिसमें क्या होता है एक्टिव पावर पीआई एंड रिएक्टिव पावर क्यूआई, दीज टू इंफॉर्मेशन आर स्पेसिफाइड, है ना। लोड बस में क्या होता है एक्टिव पावर और रिएक्टिव पावर इंफॉर्मेशन प्रोवाइडेड होता है। दूसरा बस है आपका जनरेटर बस, जिसको हम बोलते हैं वोल्टेज कंट्रोल्ड बस भी। ये ध्यान रखना, गेट वगैरह में कंफ्यूज करने के लिए आपके जनरेटर बस की जगह या पीवी बस भी बोलते हैं, तो इसमें से किसी एक का भी नाम दे देगा। तो ये तीनों नाम आपको माइंड में रखना है, क्योंकि एग्जाम में अभी वोल्टेज कंट्रोल बस दे देगा, कंफ्यूज हो जाएंगे, पता नहीं कौन सी बस है ना। तो इसको ध्यान रखना है, वोल्टेज कंट्रोल बस वेयर VI ना, वोल्टेज कंट्रोल बस, इट इज आल्सो नोन एज जनरेटर बस और PV बस, वेयर magnitude of voltage and magnitude of active power is specified. Okay. Often upper and lower limit of reactive power also specified. इसमें एक एडिशनल इंफॉर्मेशन होता है आपका पीवी बस में। Sorry for disturbance, network disturbance. Now I want to repeat from here, which has been interrupted due to the network issue. PV bus is also known as generator and voltage control bus, where magnitude of voltage and active power is specified, and some additional information regarding upper and lower limit of the reactive power also is specified at the generator bus. Okay. Now third important bus is swing bus, also known as the reference bus or flood bus, where magnitude of the voltage and magnitude of the phase angle are specified. And its difference, because this bus is very healthy. It's healthy in terms of the backup and quick response. Their losses are very low, due to which this bus is also known as a reference bus, and its respond is quickly respond to the new requirement or new increment of the load condition. Okay, due to which it's considered as a difference of the slack bus. Okay? Now this table is very important. You must remember it. Just make in your notes this type of table. Load bus, where specified, what is specified? P and Q, active power and reactive power. What is unknown? And there are four parameters. I have already explained. There are four parameters are required for the bus analysis of the load flow. That is first one is magnitude of the voltage at any bus. Second one is voltage angle at any bus. Third one, active power at any bus. Fourth one is the reactive power at any bus. Okay, load flow analysis provides the solution of the values of these four parameters, these four variables at the different bus. Okay, then you have to remember that what is the information provided at a particular bus and what is you have to know and what is unknown, and you have to determine it. Load bus means active and reactive power provided, and there is need to calculate the voltage and load angle or the bus angle, voltage angle. At generator bus, active power and voltage is provided, specified, and unknown is reactive on phase angle. Control of PV bus. What is the control of PV bus? What is provided? V, voltage V, it was missing here. Voltage V and active power provided. This means load angle V and reactive power are unknown. Okay. Yeah. Q and reactive power are unknown. Same. Yeah. Slack bus reference bus is also at this bus. Voltage V and delta I, load angle is provided, specified, and unknown is active power and reactive power. Sorry, active power and reactive power. Okay. Now, bus admittance matrix. Bus admittance matrix, you have already seen this type of the power system network. This is a generator 1. It's connected to bus 1 through the transformer T1. Transformer primary winding is delta connected and star connected secondary winding. This is the bus 3 and this is the bus 2. This is bus 4. Then at any bus, current can be written as the Y bus into V bus. Means current injected at any bus will be equal to the admittance of the bus into the voltage of the bus. Okay. In other words, as you know, Z equal to V by I. Okay. This you can write as Z bus. Impedance of the bus will be equal to the voltage at particular bus and divided by the current injected at that bus. And similarly, if we reverse this one, 1 by Z is known as the admittance. Then if we will be written 1 by Y, then I will be shifted here. I will be equal to V by Z, and 1 by Z can be written as Y bus. From this relation, we can derive I bus equal to Y bus into V bus. Okay. Through this basic formula, you have to obtain the admittance matrix. Suppose this is the network. This is the corresponding impedance diagram of the given network of this one. Okay. Let's minimize so that you can see the things. Okay. See here. See carefully. This is the generator 1. This is the generator 1. Replacement of the symbol by EG1. Okay. And the Z11 is the impedance between generator 1 and bus 1. Okay. Similarly, Z22 is the impedance between bus 2 and the generator 2. Okay. In between generator 1 and generator 2, there is a zero reference. This is known as a reference bus. Okay. And there is a impedance between bus 1 and 3 is known as the Z13. 1-3 मतलब होता है आपका बस 1 और 2 के बीच में जो भी इम्पीडेंस है, उसी तरह Z23 मतलब आपका बस 2 और 3 के बीच में जो भी इम्पीडेंस होगा उसको Z23। इसी तरह से आपका ये पूरे पावर जो आपका सिंगल लाइन डायग्राम है वो करेस्पॉन्डिंग इम्पीडेंस डायग्राम से रिप्लेस हो गए। इस इम्पीडेंस डायग्राम को अगर हम रिप्लेस करेंगे एडमिटेंस डायग्राम से, तो आपका जितने जो वोल्टेज सोर्स है और उसके सीरीज में इम्पीडेंस है उसको हम क्या कर देंगे, आपका जब भी रिएक्टेंस से जो है एडमिटेंस में कन्वर्ट होता है तो आपका जो सीरीज होता है कनेक्शन वो पैरेलल में कन्वर्ट हो जाता है। ठीक है। तो अब उसी तरह से आपका जो ये सीरीज में आपका जो ये Z11 है, EG1 है, Z22 ये क्या हो जाएंगे, ये इम्पीडेंस आपका जब एडमिटेंस में कन्वर्ट होगा मतलब Z11 में Y1 होगा तो ये आपका करंट सोर्स वोल्टेज सोर्स करंट सोर्स में कन्वर्ट हो जाएगा और ये एडमिटेंस जो है इसके पैरेलल में कनेक्ट हो जाएगा, ठीक है। ये बेसिक, दिस इज द बेसिक थ्योरी ऑफ द नेटवर्क थ्योरी, you have already studied about this. Now all the others independent reactants like Z13 becomes Y13 without any change. It will be similarly connected like the previous one, and Z24 becomes Y24, Y34 becomes Z34 becomes Y34. Okay, this is the bus 1 node, bus 3 nodes, bus 2 nodes, bus 4 node. Right now we have to calculate the Y bus through the relation I equal to Y bus into V, and we will obtain uh, this current matrix by applying nodal analysis. Suppose apply KCL at this node 1. Okay, when you will apply KCL at node 1, this means suppose I1 is incoming current and all other currents are will be outgoing, then this I1 can be written as voltage at node 1 bus 1 into admittance of the self admittance of the bus 1, and then others current will be flowing outgoing. Then other currents will, suppose this current becomes I13. Okay, this current flowing from 1 to 3. This I13 can provide difference of the voltage into admittance. Difference of the voltage will be V1 minus V3. Sorry, V1. Yeah, V1 minus V3. This one. This one will be the current I13. Okay, and this will be the current I12. Okay, then you after applying KCL, you will obtain I1 will be equal to the I11 V1. Then this current, sum of this current, suppose this I13. Okay, ये I13 है और ये आपका I12 है, ठीक है। ओके, तो जो I12 होगा सिंपली वोल्टेज डिफरेंस in between these two nodes and multiplication with admittance of this bus is Y13 and voltage difference is the V13. Similarly, I12 will be equal to the voltage difference into admittance. Voltage difference will be V1 minus V2 into Y12. This will be I12. You can see here this equation, Y12 will be equal to the voltage difference V1 minus V2. Similarly, I13 will be equal to the Y13 into V1 minus V2. Similarly, we will obtain second equation by applying KCL at node 2, and similarly we will applying KVL as node 3 and node 4. Since at node 3 there is no current source directly connected, at node 4 there is no current source directly connected. Hence, like I4 and I3 and I4 will be 0, and all other parameters will be calculated. And after manipulation of these equation 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, we will obtain the current matrix and the admittance matrix, and this is the voltage matrix. This admittance matrix is known as the bus admittance matrix. Okay, you can see some of the any column will become a Y11. If you add the any column, it becomes its self admittance. Suppose add this column, Y12, Y13 will be cancelled out. It will remain available. Y11 means in second term, if you will add this one, then all the three parameters will be Y12, Y23 will be eliminated, 24 will be eliminated. Its Y22 will be available. Okay. This one. Similarly, if we add all the elements of any row or column, sorry, any column, then it will be equal to the self admittance of the that that bus. Okay. Okay. You can write down like this one. This admittance matrix will be replaced by this one, where y11 will be equal to the sum of all other admittance, means connected to this one, means y1 will be the sum of the self admittance plus all other admittance connected to this one, connected to this node 1. Okay, similarly y22 will be self admittance plus all admittance connected to node 2. Okay. Similarly, if we are able to calculate, estimate the admittance matrix, similarly we can also calculate the bus impedance matrix by reversing, by getting the reverse of the admittance matrix. It's very simple. How this formula or how this concept will be applicable in a numerical, you can see this is an example. There will be provided, all the data will be provided in terms of impedance. Okay. You have to ask question. There will be a question how calculate how to calculate or calculate the bus admittance matrix of the given single line diagram. Okay, then you can see there is impedance is given in each two bus in this network. You can see there are four generator or four bus are there. This is the bus 1, this is the bus 2, this is the bus 3, and this is the bus 4. And all the impedance between two consecutive nodes are provided. Z1, 2, impedance between 1 and 2. 1, 4, impedance between the 1 and 4. Then with help of this formula, y12 will be equal to the 1 by z12. You will calculate admittance of the corresponding impedance. All impedance, all admittance will be calculated using this formula. Y will be equal to 1 by z. And after that, you have to calculate y11. Y11 means sum of all the adjacent, all the connected adjacent reactance. Sorry, admittance. Then y1 will be simply y12 and y14. Okay. Similarly, y22 will be equal to the y12 plus y13. This will be all the diagonal element will be connected, and non-diagonal element will be obtained by reversing one impedance. Okay. Then thus we will obtain all the parameters, sorry, all the elements y11 and y12, y13, and you have to just put all the values in this format, and you will finally obtain the admittance matrix. You have to note that all the y12 will be equal to the minus y12. मीन जो नॉन डायगोनल एलिमेंट्स होते हैं वो पॉजिटिव नेगेटिव दोनों एक साथ इक्वल होते हैं. ठीक है. तो आपके जो एक पॉजिटिव आपका कैलकुलेट कर लिया, नेगेटिव आपका जो दूसरा एलिमेंट है उसको एज इट इज आप लिख सकते हैं इक्वल both because I12 will be equal to the minus y12. And after that you can calculate all the elements from 1 to n any number of elements. Okay, I hope that this is very clear to everyone. If any doubt, you may ask in the group, or personally you can ask any doubt regarding this topic. And this is all about the bus admittance matrix.